we will start with the invocation. This is who we are. We are a team, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to each other. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? We should be driven by our goals, not by egos. We can do it. We will do it. Let us not hope for the best. Let us be the best. This is who we are. So whenever, this is a conversation that this is a invocation that is read almost every single day in some meeting or the other that happens. There are probably, I don't know, I would say maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 meetings happen between the youngsters every single day. And this is the invocation they wrote. We were doing Hindu prayer at first. And then one day the students had, we were just having town hall meetings like all the time. And in one of the town hall meetings, the student said, sir, if we do Hindu hymn, then we might have to do Christian hymn someday, Muslim hymn someday. So is it possible that we, come up with our own invocation? Why should we take Hindu invocation or Christian invocation or some other invocation? Why don't we create our own invocation? I said, hey, that's a great idea. Go ahead, do it. And look how beautifully they came up with that invocation. And so that is like, I actually think about this invocation pretty much every single day. It drives me. If there is a question for me, usually there is something in that invocation which makes me move forward, which inspires me for that day. So let me share my presentation. So can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, all of you. Thank you, Sajeev Garu, Sajeev, Palani, Srividya, Geeta, Ramakant, Shailaja, for being on this journey with me. And, there is a lot of amazing things happening. And I know that you are also experiencing that along with me. So thank you. So we started in 2017, and we started with many clubs and everything. Within 3 months, all the clubs folded, and we had to restart our whole thought process. There were a lot of technical clubs at that time. And then we realized that technical clubs was not going to work. So then we decided we are only going to have one umbrella of a club called the, I shouldn't say umbrella of a club. We decided, okay, let us only do more of communication classes and let us do more interactions, only interactions. So that slowly we moved into that. And then when COVID happened, then we went into online. So it took us, I think in March or April of 2020, we became a online platform. Until then, we were completely offline. I mean, we were doing all kinds of interactions using WhatsApp, but we rarely used Google Meet or any kind of video conferencing until COVID happened. And once COVID happened, uh, suddenly the students realized the power of the digital platform. And immediately there was an exponential growth in the team strength and activities.
Somebody's microphone is open. Close it.
So, we are now creating the Thop brand. That is what we are trying to do now, because without your identity is your brand. So that is usually the case when you have a individual. So here we are a team. So we decided how to create the Thop brand. And so that is what every moment you see, there is Thop mentors, Thop publications. So we are using the word Thop, and that now the Thop actually stands for something. And anything we do, we are always making sure we are enjoying each other's success and becoming more stronger as a team. You can have all the money in the world, but if you say it's my success that matters more, and I'm only going to be happy if I am successful, I think we miss the magic of life. And so we are always talking every single day about enjoying each other's success. And then anything we do, we are always trying to, can we do bigger? Or because if we don't think bigger is not, like if you don't do, suppose say you have $1,000 and you say, oh, I have to make, if I make only $1 million, I'm going to be happy. No, that's not what we are saying. What we are saying is there has to be a challenge every single day. A challenge to say, what can I learn today? What can I do today? And we talk about something called an infinite mindset. And that is, so if you can look at everything from an infinite mindset, because we live in a finite mindset, but if we can look at everything from an infinite mindset and live our life that way, you can be happy today, and at the same time, you can think about big things. And whenever we are expanding our network, new people, when they come in, they give us new energy, new ideas. And anything we do, we're always saying, can we win hearts along the way? So these are our values: respecting each other. First is respecting oneself. You have to respect yourself, and then only you can respect the other person. Seeing the beauty in yourself and others, seeing the greatness in myself and others, supporting each other and growing together. And again, these values, we talk about it in every team meeting, either directly or indirectly. If there is a team meeting that happens for 1 hour, I am quite sure that these values are spoken, I don't know, 10 to 15 times within that team meeting. So what are we working on? we want to start a company called Thop Artificial Intelligence Company, Thop AI Company, because artificial intelligence and machine learning are are here to stay, and there is so much of data. There are so many sensors, and all of the sensors have always but putting together, creating a lot of data. But we never had a computer which were able to take these billions of data points and come up with something meaningful. And also lots of variables are there. So Surya, who is in Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in US, it seems the membrane technology, they still are not able to figure out when a membrane fouls. So now they are trying to use AI and supercomputers to figure out, can we figure out membrane fouling before it actually happens? So AI is here to stay. So we want to see whether we can have a artificial intelligence company, so that way we can get our young people to learn artificial intelligence. I mean, the software like Python and other softwares. So that's one company. And Thop Media Platform is going to be our a platform where we use it to tell our stories. So all the books that students have written are on Thop Media Platform. So we are going to see how this media platform because if we don't tell our story, who's going to tell our story? And another thing is telling our story with facts and telling it clearly, telling it many, many times is very important. So this Thop Media Platform is going to be a for-profit company, which Vinay and Vivikta are going to start very soon. And then the third one, which we are trying to do, is a cloud server. You can, right now, they are trying to, if you want to do simulation or artificial intelligence, any of these things, we need a cloud server. We can use Amazon or Google server, but they're super expensive. But it's not that hard for us to create our own cloud server. So we just started. I created my own cloud server in 2000. And so I'm sure we can create it. So the students, the Kakatiya University students are working on this project. Mostly first years and second year students are working on this project. And I'm thinking within a year, we should be able to have our own cloud server. So that way students can do, resource intensive coding or resource intensive programs, like if they want to do edit a software, create a movie, instead of doing it on their laptops, which have only like 4 gigabytes RAM, they can now do the whole project on the cloud server. So that's so that's going to help a lot of students. They can use their, even their cell phone to connect to the cloud server and do all their homeworks and everything. And then the fourth project which we are working on is the wireless project. The girls' hostel wireless. We are starting to do working. We are working on the girls' hostel right now, but with time, that project is going to cover the whole Usmania University, and it is really going well. The director of infrastructure for Usmania University is working with Apurva on this project. The vice chancellor, the registrar have been informed, and they are also closely working on it. We are learning a lot of things about the wireless. It seems there is actually a website through which students can log problems if they have, which students never knew. So now we are we are creating teams within the student teams, within the college, within the hostel first. And we are going to let the students know about what is there and how to log a ticket if there is a problem. So that is all going to happening right now. And then we have the Terabyte project with Anupji and Ramakant Garu. And this is also going really well. So that these are the main 5 projects, but there are many others also happening. So these are some of the things which we started working on now. Shivani is doing a fantastic job in doing the Thop Gratitude Hour every week. This girl everyone calls her the gratitude goddess. So now we are planning to, if there is a company which needs support, we want to give them, Shivani will do a, weekly 1-hour gratitude hour calls with them. And yesterday, Mark, Lynette, and Linda from US, they have their own companies. And there are like about 20 companies which are coming together to create a better Colorado Springs. It is going to be like 10 to 20 year project. So they are very excited. So Shivani gave a presentation to them yesterday. So we are going to, Shivani will start talking with them probably within the next couple of months and talking to them about gratitude hour. And then self-love presentation, which Nivi is doing. And Nivi also gave the self-love presentation yesterday to Mark, Linda, and Lynette. And she will be also talking about self-love to these companies within the next month or 2. And we decided to move from WhatsApp to Instagram, because too many WhatsApp groups have happened and it is getting confusing. So we have the Instagram platform got started just about a week ago. So slowly we are moving all the things that we have in WhatsApp groups and our website and everything to Instagram. So this is the future project, Thop Village City. It sounds like, sometimes it might sound like, wow, that is a huge idea. But, but our young people are, when they come at 17, into the college, and we never talk to them saying, okay, hey, how can you, we don't talk about a 1-year project or 1-month project. When they join, we always say it is your whole life you should be doing in an inspired way. You should be living in an inspired way. So our Thop Village, is not something we are thinking about it is going to happen in a year. But we do believe Thop Village, Thop City is possible and is very much needed. If we can create a Thop Village or a Thop City, it is going to help many others to create many such projects around in India and around the world. And I think it is going to help a lot of people. So this is something which, the students are very excited. I think this has huge potential. So this is everything we do is we always think about heart, time, and effort. To almost 2 lakh hours or 200,000 hours have been put in by our young people into creating this platform. Think about that. 2 lakh hours that was put in. And every time when we want to do something, we always ask, are we willing to put heart, time, and effort? And we know with these 3 words, everything is possible. What is impossible today is only possible with time. it might be 50 years from now. So you can see the many things that our young people have been doing. We have 20 plus Thop books, and more books are going to come out very soon. Future Together with the parents. The parents are getting more and more excited. We had recently one of the students has gone to Delhi actually two of our students have gone to Delhi on it is a project that is by the government of India, and both of them come from small villages, and usually parents don't allow to go to Delhi, and in this case one of them is a girl, and several neighbors told them not to go, but the parents decided to send them. So that's a pretty big thing, because the parents are understanding that their child is going to benefit. And then last year we had 100 plus Thop talks. In just 1 year we had 100 plus speakers from all over the world talk to our young people. And then now we are having this transition and calls and leadership conversations. Thank you, Srividya and AN, for starting this. And then we are also working with VC, and registrar and everything. And then our story presentations. NERA is the New Era conference, which we have every 6 months. And we have ideathons. Every year we have a 3-day ideathon. And this year's ideathon is going to happen on February 11th, 12th, and 13th. So the students will be, meeting, talking with each other in groups from Friday, February 11th to Sunday, Friday, February 11th at around 7 p.m. to Sunday around 4 p.m. And then Terabyte Project and the KU team, which we have now. The KU team is almost about 20 people already. KU is Kakatiya University. And we have Thop obsession calls, which are going really well. There is totally about 12 calls that are happening. And every month we are having monthly celebrations. So you can see the number of activities our young people are involved. So Thop ecosystem, the Thop culture, the Thop village, Thop values. So Thop University is going to be our foundation, or the non-profit, by which we are going to help the whole world. We are going to say everything that Thop University will be is completely non-profit. And Thop media platform is all going to be for profit. So this way we are, we can do both things, for profit and non-profit. And this is all about teamwork. It is all about enjoying the journey. Yes, we are all different, but we can all work together and enjoy together and learn from each other. So we are now actually making a very big change. Previously, we used to use we a lot. Now we are getting into I. So let me see, even our invocation, we are changing it. Let me do one thing. I have to stop presenting for a second. Okay, so now we change the we to I, because we are realizing we is, sometimes we are using we to stay invisible. But when we say I, we are saying now I'm responsible. I am willing to take responsibility. I'm willing to do this. So we are changing this to this is who I am. I am talented. I am energetic. I am astonishing. I can do anything and everything. I talk. I care. I respect others. I see beauty in everything. I connect hearts. I am driven by values. I celebrate others. I provide value to others. I take ownership in everything I do. I have freedom to make mistakes. I learn as I go. I am mad to make a difference. I love disruptive ideas. I make impossible things possible. I am strong to question the creation. I believe in dreaming big. If I do not dare to dream big, am I really living? Why be ordinary when I can be extraordinary? I should be driven by my goals, not by egos. I can do it. I will do it. I will not hope for the best. I will be the best. This is who I am. So this is a very big change that we have brought about into our ecosystem now. Okay, so this is all happening because of one young woman, Nivedita. She has been talking about self-love and talking about responsibility, talking about how we should, and that really changed everyone. And so we are all doing it now. So this is something you probably are noticing within the students. And this is something, if you have thoughts, please do convey to me. We can have a talk. We can even discuss now. So this is that is something they're going into. And the other thing which I wanted to talk about is this appreciating and being a critic, right? I am not good at being a critic. I am absolutely not good at it. I thought about the whole criticism appreciation in my 20s. And I realized any habit I have that is going to give me some advantages and some disadvantages. It does not matter what habit it is. So I decided I was going to learn the habit of appreciating and only do that. And I have learned that habit. I have strengthened that habit. Oh my God, I'm not getting that word. I have been strengthening that habit every single day. So this is this is something many have told me. Even my wife tells me, why do you always do this? I said, this is who I am. And this is how I approach it. This is how I approach life. So I know that, so is being a critic important? Absolutely. But I can't do it. I'm only going to do the appreciation part. So this is the, I'm going to end this conversation. Sorry, my presentation. I went 12 minutes more than I wanted. So this is what we are, where we are at this time. So thank you. Let us keep enjoying the journey. So any questions, anything? Thank you.
That's the first. I just want to acknowledge all the efforts which has been put so far. It's very, very. I request all others to join me too.
Fantastic, guys. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Nice to see that humble efforts which started. I think I request Venugopal to go on. That humble efforts which started has grown so much is incredible.
Yes.
that enforcement somewhere. You might not have all the plan in place, but start somewhere. It'll follow. It creates its own path. So this is a classic example of. I'm sure you didn't have all these ideas or thoughts, when you started in 2017 November, where you and I went to the university. But to see that you just good work starts somewhere and it will create its own path. So excellent.
Yes, yes. I think some of you know it, maybe some of you don't, but November 15th of 2017 is when Srividya and I went to the College of Technology. We had nothing except an idea. And
I just tagged along with Shravan. I had even no idea of what he's going to do. It was, for me, it's a tag along to spend time with Shravan. That was my purpose when I went.
And I spoke about financial independence by the age of 30. Again, the person, the principal said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm absolutely sure. I know how to do this." And then Srividya, Srividya talked about expression. Do not impress, express. That one sentence has been one of the guiding sentences for the last 4 years. We have been talking about that one sentence for the last 4 years. So many times. We ask ourselves now we are becoming better and better at expression. So we actually say, anytime we have a sentence, anytime we are talking, are we impressing? Are we expressing? We ask that question. The young people ask, I ask, and if I feel like I'm impressing, I say, "Oh, take this sentence off." And then I try to see how can I go into the expression mode. We are getting better and better every single day. And again, one sentence 4 years ago has been such a big, has helped so many young people in the last 4 years. So thank you, Srividya, for that one sentence on that particular day.
I'm only thankful because no plan, it just happens. So it's all serendipity. I could only do that. I mean, I never thought that sentence would be so powerful. It'll have an impact. I just wanted them to start talking then, and I used something, and it worked. That's it. Nothing.
Yes, it did.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So any questions, any thoughts from each one of you?
I think somebody had raised the hand. I just took over. I couldn't, hold myself not expressing. Some hand was up, but I had started off on my feet.
Palani, was it?
I think it was Palani.
Yeah. So, hey, I did raise my hand. The intention was to clap because I'm holding my hand in one hand. So I couldn't clap. So it was really, I thought maybe there is an emoji of sorts. Okay. So that's why I raised hand. But regardless, look, I'm probably the latecomer to this party, right? I joined Shravan, I think, courtesy of Chetan, got introduced to you, and through that to the rest of you in August, I recall, right? I think it's been a rewarding journey personally for myself. I think, to try to create a movement is not easy, but you have to start somewhere, which is what Shravan, you and Srividya are talking about. And small ideas, and they translate into something big. So I think I feel quite a privilege to be part of this, but I do have some specifics that I do want to ask Shravan and Srividya and others as well. One of the things that I use is, there's Mother Teresa's concept that, she talks about, me alone is not a leader. I can only cast a stone. I think that's what you guys have done, right? You're casting a stone to cast a ripple in water. And I think we're just going to create many more ripples, and then we harmonize and becomes a powerful tsunami. That's really what's implied here.
Yes.
I think it's a very big thinking, and I think it's starting to gain shape. That's the way I look at it. There's a lot of good ideas, but there needs to be some milestones in some areas, right? I think, what does that AI company mean? What would success look like them, not 10 years from now or 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 3 months from now? What would that look like? So there is something rewarding, right? So this whole idea of, we got wonderful people, we have wonderful product idea, non-profit idea or a profit idea. What's the process to get there? It's something to think about. So that's just a comment, okay? But it will be there. I know positively. Good people always bring great energy and will make it happen. I think providing some clarity there would be fantastic.
Palani, thank you. First of all, I want to say we started something called Conversations with Palani with KU students, and it is going really well. Students are so excited with your weekly conversations, Palani. Thank you so much. For these young people, talking with you is such a privilege. They are raving about it. So thank you. And regarding your questions about the AI company or the media platform or something, students will actually be calling you, all of you, okay? We have no idea how we are going to do it. And this is something they are putting together their thoughts, they're documenting everything. And so they will be calling you, and that's, I hope you will take time to give your thoughts on what their what their ideas are, what you are thinking. So does that help, Palani? That that's what is going to happen in the next 6 months to a year.
Yes, it does. I think. Thank you. If you don't mind, I will just take another 20 seconds.
Please do.
The best critic in this audience, in my mind, is Chetan. Let's lean on him. That dude is really good. Okay, we don't have to be all critic. We can be appreciating. And I learn a lot from Chetan. I think he just never leaves anyone alone. I think he's more a stick kind. He's not a carrot guy.
Palani, I have to answer now, right? And unfortunately, my computer doesn't want to let me turn my video on. It keeps saying camera failed. So you guys have to make do with my voice. The reason I believe in criticism is not because I like to find fault. I truly believe everyone can do better, including myself. And if you don't hear sometimes the harsh truth, how can you ever get better? That is the motivation, or that is the point that I come from. It is not that I don't praise. I do praise. Mostly my praise is probably one on one, not in groups. Maybe that's an area that I need to get better at, that I should praise in groups. Because to me, how you get people to do beyond what they are capable, right? That is what is the exciting part. So yes, I will. I'm also a skeptic. I'm also a cynic. But all these values have stood me well in life. So while I still can improve, maybe sometimes it's good to stick to the basics.
See, when my son was born, when actually Sunita was pregnant with my son, I was asking myself, how do I raise my son? And then, I read somewhere it takes a village to raise a child. And I told myself, I have to create a village for my son now. And I really, really put together various people to be part of our life, all different kinds of people. Not, and Chetan, we need you too. We need every person. And that's why, I'm not good at being a critic. But I don't mind having a critic to tell me how I can improve. Yes, I'll get a little irritated, but I will still think. I know you have a good heart. So I will go back and think. And then,
Shravan, you've been quite open to that. You've been quite open, because I have given you candid feedbacks many times, I give a candid feedback with, you want to call critique, you want whatever, constructive confrontation. So I have told Shravan, I think you need to change. This doesn't work straight. I don't go all around. I'm very straight. And he's been very welcoming for that. So you don't, only thing is you need to start telling to others. You are able to receive it, but maybe, and we will do that part. No worries.
Thank you.
As together as a team, we will do it. Each of us have our own strength, and we can do it. Not an issue.
Exactly, Sridhar. That is what I do believe in that part. That's why when I said, having the village raise a child, when I look at our young people, having all of you is that village that is supporting our young people. And your thoughts?
He's waiting from the time he logged in. He's not even said hi. I could see him like waiting to
No,
talk.
you
Go
know,
for it.
least you can do when you join late is to keep your mouth shut. You can
But
say
I could
late.
see you were tempting to say hi. So let me do
No,
that.
no, we're just about settling down in the new house. So the what looked like a badly run distribution center started looking like a house now. See, Shravan, um, 3 or 4 thoughts running in my head. Some very elated, some dilemmas. Actually, I'll start with the happy thoughts first. First is kudos, Shravan. There's a heck of a lot in 4 years. I mean, you probably go around with a nuclear reactor powering you. That's the only way I can get to. The 13 or so months I've been involved in this, I get into everything with a sense of purpose. I mean, why am I doing this? What appealed to me, continues to appeal to me, is that we are giving a bunch of children uh, the confidence, the self-confidence. This is the confidence without arrogance. Okay, the self-esteem and skills to do bloody good in life. Okay, not hindered. Not. It's actually quite impressive to see how each of the children is traversing on that. Okay, so I think the reason I joined this group, I think that my goal is stands redeemed. I think it'll continue. So I'll continue to stay excited about that. The part where I struggle with a little is, Shravan, you and I spoke about it. Are there two purposes running here? Sometimes aligned, sometimes crossroads. Let me explain. If our objective is to launch these children and give them a strong pair of legs and a clean head and heart to pursue their visions, somewhere are we confusing their dreams with our dreams? For example, the AI company, for example, the media company is setting up a cloud. I'm saying, do they enable them in pursuing their dream, or somewhere they start feeling a blur between their identity and ESL identity? I think that's beginning to happen. It's important to have that conversation because it's very, very necessary for each of them to separate themselves and ESL. ESL is a platform. ESL is an energizer, is a motivator, is a mentoring platform. As I interact with more and more, I see that each of them is beginning to confuse their own personal identity with ESL. ESL cannot become their identity. ESL has to become their community and not identity. So, for example, if they all come up and say, hey, I think we should do something like this, versus we are saying, look, let's create that Thop city. So does the mentor aspiration for something large unwittingly become the life goal of the mentors? If that happens, that blur can be very dangerous, because I think our success will really lie in all of them not becoming clones, all of them, I think, being each persona very, very different in themselves, but enabled by a certain skills, certain values, certain ethics, nurturing their individual dream. When I meet them, I met them right in one of the physical collaboration, the celebration cell. It's as though they are all being prepared for a Republic Day parade. You'll all march alike. You'll all say Vande Mataram, the same thing. So it's important to double click and see if they're all becoming one voice where their individual voice is getting subdued. I don't know if I'm communicating, because I think
I get you.
if each of them grows in their own space, and progressively they all started looking alike. To me, that's a matter of concern, because we can't have a garden of just hibiscus, right? We need a hibiscus, we need a lotus, we need whatever, and each of them grow healthy, each of them holds on its own. So that's a dilemma I'm struggling with a little bit, and I'm saying there is a part where I see a solid convergence of, I think, my own triple life of being the Sherpa for a bunch of children, but I really don't see where I come in, let's say for a Thop city, where I come in for an AI company, where I come in when the whole world is going away from creating a private cloud to a public cloud, or creating our cloud. So one part I'm elated, other part I'm confused. I do hope I made sense.
Yeah, and I think just to second your point, in many places, yesterday one of the kids, she reached out to me to take a look at her presentation because she was going to present to somebody, and 8 out of 9 slides looked like it was a commercial for Thop cell, which is not a bad thing, but I wanted her to say what did she do in the Thop cell, right? So to your point, that identity is beginning to become that this is what we did in Thop cell, versus saying Thop cell is the organization we are in, and here is what my contributions are and what is my thing, right? So just to give you a real life example of what An was talking about.
Nice.
See, I think I keep waiting for them to be a critic. I think it's becoming very important to be nice. It's important to applaud. It's important to applaud, right? Because at the same time, I think part of honest applause is our ability to say, look, I beg to differ. So what happens is, over a period of time, then I become myself. Who am I criticizing? I'm not criticizing myself, right? So when that that Venn diagram, that A intersection B is going away, I think there has to be a space that is the mentor, a space that is a mentee, a space that is the cell, and we have to be very clear what the size of overlap between each of the circles is. They're all converging in one circle, which may not be a good thing. I could be wrong, I stand corrected if I'm over interpreting signals.
Yeah, can I add something? I think really interesting but very analytical way of critiquing the situation. But I think what I think about this is an organizational identity and an individual identity. But I think this organizational identity is bringing those diverse minds together. I think is what I think you're trying to highlight. I know you've been a people officer for major companies. So, but I think without that organizational identity, how do we bring these diverse minds together? Well, how do you bring a common purpose among these diverse minds? And I think at some point, I'm going to assume some of these are going to graduate from this, we can call it this identity, organizational identity, and they bring in another force of energy. Isn't part of that motivation that, right? I think because they are not going to stay likely with it through and through. They would graduate, somebody else would come.
So, Palni, I did think about it. In fact, I'm a big on the organizational purpose and need to align with that wholeheartedly, right? but the two things are happening as I see it. One is organizations have gone away from what you call a cathedral model to a bazaar model. Cathedral model where you're like a philharmonic orchestra, everyone singing one script. Part of it is necessary, but within that, each musician is playing a very different instrument. So if a harmonic orchestra, if it's all over violin, it might still sound amazing, right? But did they all want to be just violins? So that coexistence of a common sense of purpose that the platform creates. Don't get me wrong. I'm amazed at this common sense of purpose, common sense of oneness this organization creating. I try to say, how the hell did that happen? So Shravan, I don't know how it happened very organically, but incredible. I'm not taking away from that. Okay. But sometimes, right, it's being part of a national anthem group, right? We all want to be so aligned. 53 seconds, sing in the same. You're not singing soprano or this. You're singing in the same octave. So at that stage, over a period of time, you might lose a sense of the need for coexistence of an organizational identity and individual identity, driven by a purpose, shaped by the organizational purpose, but growing with my own sense of ikigai. My ikigai cannot become just the easily ikigai. There'll be a lot of overlap, but there'll be a lot of difference. Again, Pani, it's such a, I'm actually trying to pick my words to compose, so I don't complicate and at the same communicate. So I think it's a coexistence that we need. Because the day the identity, the theme, the purpose, the invocation that goes away, then it'll be chaos. It should not go away. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be nurtured, strengthened. Shravan, I think you do an awesome job of that, of reinforcing it. But at the same time, for example, I look at how many people on an average talk in a group. When we have take any call that we have, right? I can count about 5 or 6. See, for me, the personification of each of them developing their own persona, the metric, the index is, they're all comfortable opining sometime or other. I see it's a dynamic distribution, right? Not everyone talks all the time. But if about 2/3 of them don't ever speak, I think we have something to do in that action of that. That's one part. We don't disagree. See, applause is important, appreciation is important, but pure appreciation without saying, hey, look, I think I disagree with you on the groups, right? I rarely ever hear the mentee side. I'm glad that we still have some much needed maverick mentors. We need that. Because otherwise it'll become if the air is all oxygen, it's boring. You need some nitrogen, you need some carbon dioxide. All good. So, but I don't see that in the mentees.
Ian, one of the things is everything you have talked about. I just want you to know, I have thought all of those things for the last 30 years. And awesome. It has happened. I looked at it, my own personal life. I've looked at my wife, my kids. Every second I think about it, am I letting my wife, am I giving her the space to be who she wants to be? This is from day one when I got married. I have been asking myself the question. So one of these young people, I know them for a long time now, right? There is a lot of criticism that they face in their life, personal life. The only place they don't face the criticism is in our ESL. If they go in their own personal homes, there is, mother, father are criticizing them, saying, you're not studying this, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. They don't come and say, what is your goal? What are you doing? How is that helping them? Okay. The teachers, they're only criticizing them. And even their own friends out of ESL only criticize them. The criticism is far more than the appreciation. The only appreciation they get is here. So that's one. But can we also be critical? Absolutely. Like Chetan and you saying things like that. And I think that is necessary to, like Srividya does that to me. Whenever we talk, she does that to me, and it does make me think. So should we do it? Absolutely. But I think that should be probably done in one-on-one way than in groups. The criticism, the critical thinking.
No, I think I'm talking about disagreement, not criticism.
Okay.
The two are widely different. I'm looking for disagreements, not criticisms.
Okay. So what is an example of a disagreement?
For example, let's say 100 crore by 30. Okay. I'm just taking a thought of that.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of conversation on this group.
Yes.
Watching, I said, it's because every time somebody has a different perspective, right, it gets you thinking. Because otherwise you'll get so comfortable with your own ideas.
Yes.
In the mentees, other than a direct, almost intrinsic acceptance, was there a thing saying, why is that necessary? I saw a lot of mentees say, look, hey, are we taking the monetary accomplishment as the pseudo marker of success? I mean, it's necessary. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be retired and happy if I hadn't worked on my financial planning. Right? We need that.
Yes.
So I had a lot of conversation on this. I said, oh my God, good. This is good because I think we're all opening up and saying, asking, disagreeing. But in the mentees, honestly, I want to see more of the alternate point of view in the mentees, not us. And we are I'm a baby boomer. I'm yesterday. Because for us, right, the Gen Zs, what they think, what they feel, what they say is what is going to be important to the world of tomorrow. Right? I don't think we saw any. They just take it as you guys can't be wrong. Mentors can't be wrong. That's scary. If anyone says I can't be wrong, that bothers me.
But
am I making sense? Again, Shravan, I think I'm actually using this forum to actually a table of thought. That 20% of it. I'm not talking about 80%. 80%, I'm excited. Okay.
No.
So the 20% of it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about this. See, this idea which we started January of last year is we really wanted people to question. That was the whole reason we put that name. Because we have been so nice, everything is a nice word, nice thing. So we wanted some kind of questioning that needed to happen from parents and mentors and even within the mentees and everything. We really wanted that. And that's what we did. So if you look at the 25 people who are in that group, 1/3 have already said, we don't want 100 crores. We love being in this group because
good.
We like the energy, we like the conversations, but we have no interest in 100 crores. So they have actually said it within the group, and we put together some rules for the group. And they said, sir, we don't want to follow the rules of the group. Can we still be in the group even though we don't want to follow the rules of the group?
Okay.
And I said, okay, you can be there. Because, they were very honest that they like what is happening in the group, talking about it. But at the same time, they're saying, we are not interested in the goals. So there has been discussion. There has been lots of discussions about this. And now, even now, I know many of them are more excited about this idea than the actual numbers. So that's what. So the other thing which you mentioned about identity, which is the organizational identity to the individual identity, that is something, Ian, I think about it every single day. Because when I came to US, that was the first time I started asking myself, who am I? Until then, whatever my dad told me, I did it. Then I said, who am I? And then how do I exist who I am in this world? So these are questions that, you know, and then once I got married, I said, oh, I have a finite mindset now. I have a wife, so there is certain things I have to do. Before that, it was infinite for me. It just like I could do anything. I was even thinking about being homeless guy, trying to figure out how to be, what will happen if I'm homeless. I was really thinking about it. So there were so many ideas I was thinking of, but as soon as I married, I became more finite. And so every single day when I'm talking with these young people, even when I'm talking to you, when I'm talking to my wife, my kids, I am not sure what I'm saying. I am always confused. I'm thinking, am I saying it the right way? Does it even make sense? So this is where I constantly encourage the young people to talk with all of you. So this way they're getting multiple ideas. So this way it might look like they are all speaking one tongue, but it is from a respect perspective. It is from a love perspective. It is from the value perspective. They are all thinking the same way. But if you look at Nivedita, she completely changed everything for us. Before that, it was Shivani. Shivani was the gratitude goddess. She was dominating the whole group. And after that, Nivi. Before Shivani, it was Vinay who was dominating the whole group. And every few months, we seem to see some new person come and take over.
Yeah.
So I feel happy that our ecosystem is allowing that to happen. One person is not saying, now Shivani is not getting overwhelmed. I'm pretty sure she is getting overwhelmed with Nivi's expression. But she's saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to support this girl. And she does. So these conflicts of thought, these conflicts of identities is something I do think about. And I don't think I have a solution for it. The only solution I have is questioning myself and asking all of the young people to connect with all of you more. And that's what I do all the time. I hope I have answered that.
No, awesome. Shravan, thank you so much. That's certainly very comforting.
Thank you. Sajeev, any thoughts for you from your side?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. By and large, I think I agree with what Ian is saying. Definitely, there are two sides of the coin. See, the concept itself is very great because first of its kind probably I've seen in my life. So definitely, it brings a lot of I would say uncertainties and gray areas, etc., which is fine. I mean, which we definitely there's no problem in that. As Ian said very rightly, if they're not aligning with individual growth ambitions or dreams, definitely there's a problem. Okay, for sure, everyone you have to answer everyone's question. What's in it for me? Every student will have whatever is whatever Thop is doing, is it adding value to me as far as my ambitions are concerned, my life goals are concerned. Having said that, as I also agree with Palani, do you have stepwise action plan? Do you have I would say milestones achieved, let's say in quarters, in organizations we call it Q1, Q2, Q3 kind of thing. So if there is a clarity, I think I would suggest you should have that kind of clarity, so that there is definitely confidence and hope that yes, it is going the right direction. So if it is still evolving, I think let it be like that. But as time passes by, definitely you have to answer this question: that how is it really adding value to each of the student in terms of let's say adding value to their life goals? Number one. Number two, or do we have the stepwise process in place and course correct as we go on? So frankly speaking, I'm still trying to understand because any such initiative, definitely, it's confusing for some time. It's confusing for some people. It has clarity for some people. So the great thing is to be positive. The great thing is to have trust in the process. And another great thing is all of us must work together, must think together to make it a success. And so when you started your presentation, Shravan, I wanted to see that, one-line mission. I don't know if you have put that, I forgot, one-line mission or of this entire initiative. I would prefer that, we should have that one-line mission and communicate to everyone, all the stakeholders, including mentors and mentees, what it means. So at this stage, I think there are definitely a lot of positive things. There are probably equal number of gray areas, unclear areas, uncertainties. Doesn't matter. Let's move ahead with all this. I don't know whether it is disagreement, criticism. See, English words are very confusing. So if you don't want to pain any guy, you use a better word. But I think the meaning is same. Okay. So let's take it positively. It doesn't matter because AN is a very accomplished individual and professional. So he has to talk, sense. He will not talk anything, non-value adding. Okay.
Hopefully.
So, I'm sure about it because see,
High hopes. High hopes.
Seriously.
No. So I have no doubts on that. And for that matter, all of us talk in a sense, at least in this platform. Okay. So let's keep adding value and let's keep correcting ourselves. If there is a need for correction, let's keep correcting. And let's keep our ears open in terms of listening to these mentees, because they are in the, they're in a stage, they're in an age where, they're a bit confused in terms of, forming up their plans. At that age, probably they have 4 to 5 different plans, not one plan. Okay. So, so we should definitely take their probably opinions into consideration. Fine. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not judgmental on anything as of now. I'm saying it has mixed now. So let's evolve. Let's evolve and bring a proper shape to it. But eventually, I would like to have a mission and see how the mission is taking place and how I would say, it is how successful it is in terms of adding value to the mentees. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say.
So
Thank you,
AN will
Sanjeev.
conduct a workshop, facilitate a workshop to come up with a vision and mission statement for Thop.
In my working day, we used to say, come up with a suggestion, go with a task. Come with a suggestion, go with a task.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I think people, as soon as they come to AN, they'll say, you know what, if I come with a suggestion, then he'll give me a task. So I better not come up with a suggestion.
No, I think, happy to participate in that. I agree with you. I think the purpose statement.
Yeah, we actually have, on the website, mission, vision, and value statement. We do have that. So we are, this is something one of the young people came up with, the mission and vision statements. And we have decided that every year or every certain point of time, we are going to give one other young person to come up with the vision statement, which we are all excited about. So that's how we decided, because when we started this, everyone was like saying this, they couldn't align themselves with a particular mission statement. There were so many mission statements which they were fascinated about. So they said, finally I said, what, let us do one girl or one boy. And so I said, Vivekta, you are doing it this time. And she said, okay. And she put this in, and everyone said, yeah, we love that. So we said, great, let us go with this. And when the power of that mission statement goes down, we will come up with a different one. So that's how we made a organic decision, because we spent hours and hours on vision and mission statement for almost 2 years. And finally we said, one day, done, we are coming up with something. So one more thing, whenever I'm talking, I want you to know, I do not want to be defensive, because I really, 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 really listen to all your statements. And so when I'm trying to say this, I'm not trying to justify my method, or I'm not trying to say, hey, Ian, I have, that I have considered, I have already thought about it, or no, this, nothing like that. It is more.
Yeah, Shravan, don't even have to explain. Yeah, see, no.
Yeah,
Shravan,
you don't sound like that at all.
if it weren't that, I don't think we would have spoken so openly if we thought you're going to shoot anyway. No, you don't. No, don't even have to say that. Okay.
Thank you. So there is a lot of things that are evolving, Sajeev. Though I think one of the programs which is right now, after so many years, by the way, 4 years later, is sort of sure is the Thop Talks. I think we have finally come up with dates, times, certain formats, everything. And we are quite sure that is sort of set in stone. Okay. And we are getting closer to Thop obsession calls to set in stone, a particular format. I mean, within the format, things will change. But apart from that, pretty much every program is evolving. So I hope that answers your question regarding Q1, Q2, or any of those things. We are not there yet. It might be another year before we get to that.
Awesome.
Shailaja, do you want to say anything?
Actually, everyone have covered it. I actually trust that the group of mentors are really qualified, and we are doing a wonderful job. Astounding past, present, and future to Thop e-cell transformation from what I had seen first to now. Hats off to everyone. It's a wonderful group effort, and there's so much of harmony. That is what I really appreciate. And it's evolving, and we are all with you. I think the first 2 stones were put in by both of you, and they've become big mountains now. And they are going to show the way to a lot of people. So I highly appreciate everything which is being done. But that's what, like, subtle way we are just saying that balance is very important, and it's balanced because it's not a one-man show. It's a group of people. The mentees are very smart, so that is a great advantage. So they know how to turn the tide, or how to make it flow. So they have a lot of energy, and they are actually molding, like we are learning from them or they are learning from us. I have no idea, but the flow is very smooth. So that is really a great job. So hats off to that. And it's a huge transformation, especially in the past 1 year. I've noticed a huge transformation. So the group energy and the effect of that alignment and harmony, and how they are wearing the future, it's very, very prominent. So that's all because of the seeds which have been sown. So I trust the young mentees, and all of us are nurturing in different ways. So that balance is there, and it's visible, and I highly appreciate that. And thank you, Ian, and others for voicing things, so I don't have to voice much. And thank you, Shravan, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Shailaja. One of the things which you mentioned Shailaja is really right. Is the young people are actually quite smart. They see,
Absolutely.
yeah, they see what is happening. They know who to reach out to, and we have given them the freedom. We have not said, no, you shouldn't go here or you shouldn't go there. We have given them the freedom, and they actually go and use it. So, Shailaja, thank you for bringing that up. Ramakant Garu, anything you want to say?
Uh, Currently, I enjoyed the conversation. I'll convey when I feel something needs to be corrected or whatever. If I feel something is not something is not it can be looked at a different perspective or something like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Currently, it's okay. It's fine.
Thank you.
I really enjoy all the conversation that goes going on.
Thank you. Thank you for your help on the Terabyte project, by the way.
That's it's okay.
Yeah.
We are working on it still.
Yes, they are super excited. And all of you, the Terabyte project, there is already a 1-year plan. By the way, Sajeev, this is um, Anupji has created a 1-year plan for the young people for this year. So there is a whole 1-year plan on the the Terabyte project. So that is probably the only project where we have a 1-year plan. And students are super excited. They are all of them have agreed that they want to work on it for the next 10 years on that project. They might be doing they might be doing a job, they might be doing anything, but they are going to continue working on that project on the side for the next 5 to 10 years. They want to they have committed themselves, which is, of course, we never asked them. We didn't say, hey, if you want to be in the team, you have to be committed to 5 years or something like that. We didn't say that, but they understood. Anupji said, if you really want any good results, you have to be committed for 5 to 10 years. And all of them said, sir, we really want to do this. And they are learning, they are working every single day on this project. Chetan, any thoughts?
Plenty of thoughts, none at this time.
What happened, Chetan? You said plenty of thoughts and
none at this time too that
I don't know how those two exist together, but
that's just because I'm a chaotic thinker, Shravan. I don't think linearly, and so multiple things exist in my mind at the same time.
I like it.
So this is how I'm going to assume based on what you said. Plenty of thoughts, but none at this time means a second ago or a millisecond ago, there was plenty of thoughts, but at this moment, you have nothing.
It's always open to interpretation. That is the beauty of chaos.
You
are confusing us, Chetan.
No, life will be very boring without chaos, believe me.
Seriously.
Yeah. I'm not speaking as a Jugaad brought up Indian, but there's got to be some chaos. Too much out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Indian traffic is more exciting than US traffic.
Yeah, I think Chetan threw the right phrase at one point. Why not a billionaire by 30 years of age and everything, right? I think there were a bunch of us who were anti, and he said, why not? Okay, that was, Chetan, we need something like that, man, from you. Okay.
Sure, why not, Palani? No, what I said was, what's wrong about talking about money? That's what I said. So, anyway.
Yeah.
No, but all good stuff, Shravan. I think, we are all now talking about how this needs to get better, but we are all very, very appreciative of the amazing foundation and organization you've built, right? I mean, the fact we are having this conversation is only because you built something like this. Otherwise, the rest of us, at least as far as I'm concerned, I find myself as I can do what I can to help. But in the larger scheme of things, I'm probably the one of the most irrelevant people, because there's a lot of others who've invested so much time and money to bring it to this point. And obviously, thank you for the opportunity, because I think it's an amazing thing to give back and watch some of these kids grow. And that is also the reason for some of my earlier comments, right? I mean, what greater pleasure than seeing, you know, so let me just say this. I think it was when Newton was on his deathbed. They asked him, "What is your most important discovery?" And he said, "My biggest discovery is Michael Faraday." And they said, "Why? Is it not the law of gravity or the laws of motion?" So he said, "No, those are all in the past. But Faraday will keep the love of science going. And that is why he is my biggest discovery." So I think I look at all these young kids as I'm excited to see what they will go out and do in the big wide world, right? And so to me, I think the best is yet to come.
Well said, Chetan.
Well said. Venugopal Garu, anything you want to say?
Well, I've been listening to the conversations. I think we have covered a lot of ground, but there are certain questions that keep going in my mind. Well, during the last 2 years, let me be very honest that my contribution has not been much, but for, you know, sometimes I get the feeling that to what extent are the mentees really comfortable? Because even during the meetings and others, you see only few of them speaking. And most of the mentees, well, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong and I wish I am. Well, in my case, I've tried to approach the mentee by myself on quite a few occasions, inviting, trying to make them talk, asking them what is it that they want to do, how are things, how is life, everything, trying to make them feel comfortable and come out. But for a couple of occasions, I didn't see the enthusiasm. And what I personally believe in is it is not the mentors who have to go behind the mentees, but it's the mentees who have to take advantage of. We have time, we are willing to give time, we are willing to talk to them, we are open, so that needs to come. And I see that, but for a few, I think that enthusiasm is lacking. And let me also share some information which I happen to get from students of OUCT who are outside who are not into our Thop and other things. Well, some of them have made a remark that, we have not gotten into it because it takes away a lot of our time. While we have to do that, there are certain things that we have to do. Focus on our studies, we have to do quite a bit of work. But this impinges on our time. I'm giving this as a feedback. And since I happen to know these kids personally, a few of them I'm sharing. So this is I don't know to what extent this thought is there in the minds of students, because the number of students who are there and the number who are really working in Thop and who are trying to take advantage of what we are trying to offer and the wonderful platform that you have created. I'm not sure, I don't have that, but this is just a feedback that I'm sharing with the group, because I got to get this because I know the kids personally. They are my children's friends, or they keep coming to my house sometimes. So during one of the casual talks, I found out this. Never letting them know that, because I don't like to convince anyone, they have to be convinced. No individual can be convinced into doing something. They have to feel the need for it, they need to be convinced, and then they will get it. And with due respect to all mentors, this is just a caution. I'm being very, very candid. I don't think we should. Sometimes I feel probably we are bordering on becoming a backslapping club. We appreciate ourselves too much. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. Maybe my thinking is wrong. I do not know. But I feel the appreciation we give to ourselves is very, very high. And this is where I think, what's the gentleman's name? Chetan. I agree with him because criticism is an essential part of thing. And that is what actually urges someone to perform better. Because if you look at the appreciation is the same. Oh, wonderful work, we have been doing great. I'm not talking about mentors, mentees. In general, this is what, if one looks at it carefully, you find this, you find criticism very less. So what happens is, people can become a bit relaxed. Oh, we are doing great work. That is where I think I tend to agree with Chetan that criticism is essential and one needs to criticize. And criticism should not be taken as or construed as something negative. Because in our minds, criticism, we always associate it with something negative. No, it is not. It is just only on the surface. Criticism is something for us to improve ourselves, to help others improve themselves. So this is something I find a bit missing. But at the same time, let me also tell you, there are students, of whom I am not the mentor. They have approached me on certain subjects. And it was a pleasant surprise, but I talked to them, cleared some of their doubts, helped them, telling them that this is this, setting to rest some of the confusions they had in their mind. I do appreciate. So for me, whether it is the mentee who was assigned to me or someone else, it doesn't make a difference. It is, am I of some help to them in my area where I can talk to them, I can discuss with them. Because basically though I'm a chemical engineer by degree, my life has been spent in IT all 35 years. So my thinking is slightly different. Probably I may not talk about, because today my batchmates also make fun of me. अरे तू chemical engineer क्या है, तेरे को क्या मालूम chemical engineering के बारे में बात करता है. मैं बोलता हूँ chemical engineering से ज़्यादा मालूम है मेरे को. So because you all are there, I need anything of chemical engineering, I can always fall back on you guys. But you guys have to fall back on me if you need something of IT. So that way, I'm a step ahead, and so that keeps happening. But we have done wonderful work, and Shravan, I sincerely appreciate what you've been doing, and I've heard AN speaking, very wonderful, and they make a lot of sense. Sajeev, he's balanced. He doesn't want to sound impolite, but I like Chetan the best because he's a critic. And a critic is one who is required if we have to advance and progress. And his theory of chaos and other things, they are wonderful theories. I have studied them as a part of systems engineering and cybernetics and all that. So I have some knowledge. I wouldn't say as much as Chetan, but I do understand, and it's a wonderful theory when applied to lives and when applied for growth. So once I would just like to conclude by telling that, yes, Shravan, it's a wonderful thing that you have created. There's a great scope for progress in this, and probably wonderful things can be done, but we need to be treading with caution, and we should also let people know when they are wrong. We need to criticize. Constant appreciation also may dull their appetite. Okay. That's all. Thank you very much, and thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Garu. So one thing, first thing is, yes, the mentee that was assigned to you definitely did not, he has actually not been participating much with the Thop cell program. He got, he started working on different ideas. So that's what happened. So definitely you are right about this point where a mentor should not have to go all the time and talk to the mentee saying, hey, you have a call at this time, we are supposed to talk at this time. No, that is not the right thing to do at all. And I am, that is something I should have caught it at the very beginning, and I should have taken care of it. I also didn't have a clue when I
Shravan.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. It is no one's fault. These things happen. So don't blame yourself, and don't blame the mentee. For all, he might be having different ideas, which, working on them, he finds them more advantageous. So we should not find fault with him. But I'm telling you, in a mentee-mentor program, it is the mentee who has to go behind
That's what
and take advantage of what's available. So please don't blame yourself, and let's not talk about individual mentees.
No,
We are talking in general about the entire program and what has been done and how it has been done.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm.
I think we should confine to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting there. So what I'm trying to say is, when this program was started, like every other program which we started in ESL, it was an idea, and we were like trying to see how that idea evolves over time. And so, obviously, one of the things we do is something we call it a no guilt zone in our group. We don't allow anyone to feel guilty. You make a mistake. Hey, you made a mistake. Fix it and move on. But don't say, oh, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, this, that. No, we don't really want people to spend too much time feeling that stupid guilt. So we constantly say, so I was not blaming myself, Venugaru. I was only trying to say that is a area I could have done better. That's all. And so one of the things which the mentor program, we are making a slight change in that is we are no longer asking students to talk with their mentors every week now. Now the mentees and mentors will decide when they want to talk, how they want to talk, how they want to create, go there. When we started it, we wanted that 30 minutes because we wanted that conversation to happen between the mentor and mentee, so that way there is a, the mentee especially feels comfortable talking to the mentor. But now that place has been reached, so we are now suggesting that mentors and mentees figure out how they want to do it, and also no longer we are trying to assign one mentor to one mentee either. We are now, the mentees are reaching out to mentors individually and trying to get suggestions from them for their future now. Like suppose they want to go to US, or suppose they want to open a company, or suppose they want to do a project. We now, the whole in town hall meetings, we have talked about it, and we said they can just reach out to any mentor who they want to have a conversation with. So that is something which got started about a month ago, those conversations. So that's happening. So any final thoughts from anyone before we end the call? I know that it has been a long call.
You're not heard from Srija.
I was the one who spoke first. I was the one who spoke first.
You did? No, I don't think so.
I did. I started off. The moment Shravan stopped, I opened up.
Yeah, I think we didn't hear from you. We didn't hear from
Srija, your voice was so fine that you lulled the gentleman into sleep.
I think we need to hear hear again. Sylvia.
I enjoyed all the conversations. There are some things I agree, there are some things disagree. Both are there, for me, the thoughts. But it's been an amazing journey. As I said, since I've been very fortunate to see this baby growing from the day one, from that stage to till now, it's very, very happy to see that. And trust me, Shravan is the one who's put in all his efforts. I have been only a little bit here and there tag along. That squirrel contribution is mine, but I was there on the day one, so the credit keeps coming to me and I enjoy it. Free credit, I do enjoy it, but I'm aware of what my contributions are. I've been through it, yes. I've been with Shravan, not at a practically the way he's able to give in the time and commitment. That is something I have never seen anyone doing it. Personally, that has been a biggest learning for me, that how one person can commit, dedicate himself to a cause to this extent and be open to bring all of us together. I think this is another gift he's given us, all of us mentors coming together. For me, this is another gift. What Shailaja was saying, I don't know whether we are learning, they are learning. According to me, both are happening. Both, definitely, we are also learning from them, they are also learning from us. Both are equally happening, and I've been enjoying, and I like that openness of evolving on its own, with all its chaos, with all its excitement, combination of all that is already there. I think it's good. Let it evolve, and each of us are anyway expressing and giving ideas, and Shravan does reach out to all of us individual basis also, and it's good. I think Chetan contributed on the presentation skills. The kids have grown in that skill, and conversations with Palni. Now we are doing transitions. I think all of us, and Geeta is contributing in her own way. Today also she's been very quiet. We are good. I'm happy with this whole program as a whole, and we keep evolving through that.
Yeah, Srividya, I thought I will be quiet, but I couldn't shut up. Today I do have to say something.
Yes.
We've been talking about criticism, right, for the past many weeks. I have not seen or heard of how we are going to do it or a solution to that, because we say we should stop praising, and not stop praising.
No.
That was not correct. But I do see that it is very necessary. They need praise, not empty praise. Because recently I was on a call where Tarun was leading the call, and he was calling out all the first years, the newbies, to ESL. And every one of them said, thank you to ESL, you have given us the space to speak. What I want to develop, what I want to build on is my confidence, my ability to communicate or speak. So it was so obvious that none of these kids had the opportunity to even speak, before ESL. So we have to be very careful when we talk about criticism, or I like critiquing, as Palani said. We have to be careful how we do that, because if we do that in a group, we may totally shut them out. Of course, we want to prepare them for the real world, right? ESL may not necessarily be the real world. We want to prepare them, but how we do it, I think we need to think about it. I know in our Colleen's group, we do, Sriram and I correct, because that is one of the big things for some of us, communication. If we want these children to reach out and communicate with the rest of the world, then they have to polish those communication skills, enhance them little bit at a time. not stay where they are, because sometimes you transliterate something from Telugu to English, you're losing out on the meaning, or you're saying something very different. So it's important what they say, and it is in English that they're communicating. So we are working on those skills with the children in the Colleen group. When they want to post something, we make those corrections. We encourage them to relook. We ask questions. So maybe we
Geeta, if I can barge in, if you don't mind.
sure.
I think each of us are doing with our mentees, at least definitely I'm giving feedback to my mentee wherever I see her, where she has to improve or where she's not doing so good. I think that's happening, and which is good. You appreciate in public and confront in private. I feel that's happening already. Maybe it's not happening in public, so there is a feeling that it is not happening, is my sense. And in the transition sessions also, I've been up and say, no, this is not okay. Like I think Rukmini or somebody said, and I immediately barged in and said, no, that's not the right approach. We have to change it. It is happening. I think the feeling is it's not happening, but according to me, it is definitely happening in many areas in our own way. So each of us take responsibility wherever we see. We need to be comfortable in saying that, like what Chetan said, how we say matters. And I don't think, at least in my experience, whomever I have given one-to-one feedback, they've been very receptive. And I give very straightforward. I'm not a person who beat around the bush. You've already seen how I barge in and say. So many of you have concern. My take is it is already happening, and each of us take responsibility to take it forward. And that's all. I think, Geeta, we don't need a big plan for it. Each of us do it. That's it.
Okay.
I'm a little confused. See, it's not about applauding and appreciating or criticizing. I think what I was talking about was a ability to opine as we feel it.
Right.
If my opinion is in agreement with you, you might take it as an appreciation. If it's not, you might take it. It's not a spectrum of appreciation.
Exactly.
Between. So, I mean, do we feel comfortable sharing an opinion? Do we feel comfortable being the lone voice? I think that's what we're talking about.
I mean, in
So
my case, I can say my mentee does that with me. If I say something,
I think it's not about I think it's not about one mentee and one mentor. I'm saying in a group, we said that, right?
Yeah.
They're being able to do that offline is less important than they're being able to be respectfully irreverent in a large group. That's what we're talking about.
That's a different thing, AM. I totally agree with you there.
Maybe we'll bring it up in one of those transition sessions. How to disagree. We have anyways just done with the no, how to say no. In that, quite a bit of it is covered already. If I have to say, some bit is covered of how to say no. We have done that. Maybe we will bring it up how to disagree. How to disagree respectfully.
Yeah. How to express respectfully.
Yeah, how to express respectfully. Maybe we'll bring it up.
Excuse me, this is Venugopal. I think I agree with AN when he says it. It's not only respectfully disagreeing, but after so many years in the industry and after, traversing so much, I'm sure we all agree that it's a harsh place. It's not an easy place. A public, they will rip you. Once you get into the industry, whether it's your own or whether it's someone else's. So, it is not the question of respectfully disagreeing. They should get prepared to take it. They should get prepared to withstand it.
Give the chin.
Yes, that is what they should get prepared for. Because it's not a very easy world. Oh, come on, okay, fine. Once they get into the industry, they could all be fine here in this group, in this world. But the idea
I
is
definitely agree. I think we did cover that in our transitions group. It's all about how do you receive a no, how do you express a no. To some extent, this has been covered very recently. So how do you communicate?
Yeah, I'm not trying to put down anyone's point, but I agree with AN. That was a very mature statement and a statement coming out of experience. And I think that is what we have to do. And they need to stand up to take it. It is not disrespectfully disagree. Yes, when we are talking, we very respectfully disagree with others if we don't agree with the point. But that is not what we are talking. When we talk of criticism, please don't construe that as something negative. Because most of the time it sits in our head. Hey, वो बहुत criticize करता है. That means he's negative. No, he's not negative. It's only his viewpoint, his disagreement, which he's expressing, and they come in all different thoughts, and they come in all different statements. Some are very harsh, some are very nice. So all I'm telling is that these students also should get used to it, and we have to help in that rather than appreciating them continuously, constantly, always. That's all.
One of the things I want to, as I told you before, the parents are criticizing or being critical. The teachers are criticizing or being critical.
Shravan, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I respectfully disagree with your statement. I am a parent. I have seen so many students. I have seen so many families. What you say probably could be happening in a percentage. It is not true universally. Please. I don't agree with your statement.
Okay. But, it might be in your, definitely you have a certain area, certain number of people you have interacted and certain number of experiences you have. I have spoken to these young people one-on-one, and I've spoken to the I know.
Shravan, sorry, I also need to log off if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Hi, Srivaja.
Thank you,
Before
everyone.
log off.
Thank
Shanti,
you.
yeah, late. Bye.
Oh, hey, Shanti, you're also leaving?
Sorry,
No,
I'm
let's
very sorry.
wrap up.
I didn't. I joined
Shravan.
very late. Yeah,
Let's
we can
conclude, Shravan. Then all of us can go.
Yes. Okay. So, thank you, Shanti. Let us, one of these days we'll have this conversation, but there is a lot of criticism and, critiquing that is happening within the society. It is a lot actually. Well, what is not happening enough is the recognition of one's uniqueness. And that's what we do within our ESL, is we recognize the uniqueness and we allow them to express their uniqueness. So let us one day, maybe we'll just only talk about critiquing and criticism one of these days, and we'll go from there. So let us end the call for now. Definitely, I like different viewpoints because it adds a lot of energy to the call. If everyone says yes, it's sort of boring in a way. So let us definitely have a call sometime. Thank you so much, all of you, for being on the journey with me. And I have personally learned a lot from all of you. I have met Palani and Chetan because of this ESL, and I am getting to meet them for dinner and things like that in Denver. So, which is like really, really nice. And, I like, so thank you so much.